because these black unis that y'all wore, I'm just Googling them, they're so good. And I think the fans I want them back. Do the fans want them back? Do you want them back? These are sick.
Everybody wanted them back. I don't know why we didn't wear them more. Was this my year?
It is. Yeah,
so that wasn't okay.
Yep.
Well,
Week 6.
I don't know why we didn't wear them anymore, because it wasn't like we went on 16 that year. We went on 16 the next year. But I don't know. I mean, I love that jersey. You know, there's a bunch of years there we didn't even wear the throwbacks for Thanksgiving while I was playing. But, you know, I mean, the black jerseys are awesome. They're cold-blooded.
Well. 3-time All-Pro, 6-time Pro Bowler, Hall of Famer, number 2 overall pick in the 2007 draft. Calvin Johnson, also manifestor, maker of things happening, because these bad boys are back, baby.
They're back. How you doing, Kay?
I'm so good. Good to see you. Listen, we called for it. We saw it. We wanted it. We made it happen. What do you think?
It's awesome. They went back to the block numbers as well, but just to have the black jersey back, you know, I said something that day. I was like, I'm gonna start a petition just so we can wear these things every home game. They're cold-blooded. They should.
They are cold-blooded, and you said that, and it went off. And then I think that, you and Detroit are getting along. A big week, big vibes. I have to ask you, do you like the alternate helmet? It was a bold move I saw on Twitter.
It was a bold move, but it popped with that black jersey, though. I love it. It looks good to me.
So you're into it. How's it like to be a guy who spends so much time in Detroit this week?
Oh, man. Ooh, I was downtown the last 2 days, just got events all day, every day. But just to see the anticipation, the excitement, obviously there's a ton of excitement, you know, the way the Lions ended the season last year. So that's just rolling over, you know, into this draft week. And then obviously it's going to roll over into the season. So this is just good times around Detroit.
Are you going to be around? Or are you like, is this one of those weekends where you go, I'm going skiing, I'm leaving?
Man, the mountains are closed down for me now, so it's time to bring out the golf clubs. But no, I got events lined up with my company, and then just appearances all week. So it's just fun just being able to catch up with some of the guys that are in town.
I love that. Calvin, let's go back. Let's go back, shall we? 2007, draft night. What do you remember about this moment?
It was cool. You know, every year at the time, you know, everything was in New York. You know, we were up in New York, and, you know, it was like 4 or 5 guys that were going to be like, top 10 picks, I guess, you know, and it was just still the anticipation of, okay, where am I going to go? You know, I thought I was going to go stay at home. I thought I was going to go to Atlanta. I thought I was going to go to Tampa. Last place I thought I'd end up in was Detroit. So,
you know, you're one of one. It's impossible. Like, I'm looking at all these receivers, and even Marvin Harrison, and it's like, what is it? I was telling Hamilton this morning, I was like, what is it like to know that, like, Calvin could just sit there and say, none of them will be me? They might be great, but none of them will be me.
I mean, that's what it's all about, you know, just running your own race, you know, taking inspiration from those that came before you and just, you know, implementing those things into your own game. And shoot, never know. One day you might be the best.
Calvin, do you remember what your answer was in those interviews with teams or media even, when teams asked you to compare yourself to other wide receivers already in the league?
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't remember exactly what I said, but I know at the time, like, how I was looking at guys and how I wanted to put those, like, different pieces from everybody's game into my game. So I was looking at Randy. I want to make plays like Randy. You know, I want to be durable like T.O. You want to be consistent like a Marvin Harrison. You know, you want to be a bruiser like Hines Ward. You know, and try to put all those things into one package. And
that's how you're Megatron. Like, literally, you're like, that's what you said. You said you're a combo of T.O. and Randy Moss with the personality of Marvin Harrison, which I love. I mean, those are 3 all-time players. I got to ask you, looking back at it, like, obviously it's a loaded class, right? 2007, if we can take a look here. 4 future Hall of Famers selected in that first round. 17 of the 32 players selected in the first round were Pro Bowlers. What was the energy on draft night? You know, like, did this class know they were about to take the NFL by storm?
If you saw the way that part of those guys, like Marshawn Lynch, a couple of us were working out, you know, down in Florida. You know, we knew AP, you know, we knew he was a train. You know, we were able to sit back and see, like, man, like, at the time I knew we had a hell of a draft class, but when it's all said and done, looking back, you know, I mean, we really had a hell of a draft class. I feel like maybe not an all-time, but one of the all-time draft classes possibly.
You were so humble back then, even though I do think you knew what was about to happen. And now you're a little more open. Obviously, you're Hall of Fame. Like, you're just more open now. You just are. Maybe that comes with age, experience, whatever. You went number 2 in that draft. DeMarcus Russell went number 1. If you could go back now, in that moment, did it matter to you? What were your thoughts when that happened?
No, it didn't matter whether I went 1 or 2. Honestly, I thought I was going to fall like the 3, 4, or 5, wherever Atlanta and Tampa was. Honestly, I just want to be for it to be a good fit and for someone for me to be comfortable. I obviously wasn't exactly comfortable in Detroit, but you got to get over all that and just get to work. So for all the guys that are coming in right now, it doesn't really matter where you fall in the draft. It's just about the work that you put in when you get your opportunity.
You had more yards against my Chicago Bears than any other opponent in your career. So Detroit's having its moment, sure. Like they've outperformed, they've done that. But like, can you celebrate Chicago a little bit right now? Like they're getting their number 1 pick. Things are looking good. They get Keenan. They've got like some good things coming to them. Are you a believer in the Bears?
You know what? I love playing in Chicago, minus the dang crappy field, but the environment. I love shopping in Chicago. I was in Chicago this past weekend, so I got mad love for Chicago. I want to see them, have success, second to the Lions. So,
It's not what I asked. Are you a believer? They get Caleb. Are you a believer in Chicago? And you know what I'm asking, yes or no?
I believe that they can come runner-up to the Lions. I believe that Caleb Williams, I believe if they get Caleb Williams, they will be a better team, 100%.
Better than
100%.
the Packers?
Man, that Jordan Love, man. Ooh, that boy, he's just getting better with time. You got to watch them. They only had 3 of them in the last however long, 3 quarterbacks. So like they got something figured out up there.
Calvin, what would the Bears have to do to get you to say, I believe they're going to have a Lions-esque turnaround?
I don't know. I got to see him. I got to see another year first. Sorry, Bears fans, but I got to see it in action. I got to see it. I mean, I guess y'all over there hoping that y'all have a season like the Texans did last year.
Yes.
You get that top quarterback, and that's generational. I feel like.
Is Caleb generational?
Woo! Nah, I would never be the one to step out on the limb to say that anybody coming into the NFL is generational talent. There's so many different factors that could play into that, and I wouldn't even step out on the limb to say that he has potential.
Did you know that Matthew Stafford was generational before he came to you?
Not before, but once I got to play with Matthew, I mean, really like first practice, I got to understand, this. I really got to understand. I mean, until you really, get to see a guy and be on the field with a guy, you really just don't know. And you watch from now, unless you're like on the game day field, watching him in college. But seeing him, the way he threw the ball, the way that ball broke my fingers, when he first came to Detroit, I knew instantly.
So maybe Keenan Allen, I'll ask him after the first practice, and he'll know instantly. I mean, there's talks that the Bears might swing so big that they trade up and get Marvin Harrison Jr. too. So then you're having Keenan, Marvin Harrison Jr., and Caleb. Then are you a believer?
I mean, it's hard not to be a believer when you have a young quarterback and you have a veteran receiver that's just Mr. Consistent, been consistent his whole career pretty much, and then you have a young talent. Young receivers can make hay in this league. So, that definitely improves your chances. It sounds like you're a big Bears fan.
No, I'm not. I'm just curious what it would take, because I think it's an exciting time for them. Of course, I mean, you saw the Lions. People weren't believers in the Lions. Did a couple things,
I know, but
and now look at that.
Why are we talking about the Bears? We'll be talking about Detroit.
So tell me about Detroit. I mean, because Detroit's not picking till later, and like Detroit's just like they're hanging out with them. You want to talk about Detroit? What would you like to see them do? Listen, we pulled back the black jerseys. What is your draft wish for Detroit?
My draft wish is always just to beef up the defense. I know okay. Brad and the team have everything going over there, but just to beef up the defense as much as we can. Whether that's there's 3 different levels there, and I don't have a say on which level, but I just want to see some more on defense. We have it on offense. Obviously, you could pad that up a little bit, but man, defense, like I say, defense wins championships. And I know what we have in golf. I know what we have on offense. So we just give him some help keep getting the ball back in his hands. Yeah.
I would love to see Terry and Arnold go to Detroit. That would be, you and me have a good thing going here. We're wearing the black, I say Terry and Arnold, maybe like a Nate Wiggins. Both of them are on my show, I think, to help the defense out a little bit. There's so much talk about the quarterback position. Y'all are boring. Detroit's boring. Y'all have it figured out. You have your Goff, you have your Campbell. If you're one of these receivers on one of those, the first 4 teams picking, like the Chicagos, the Commanders, the Patriots, like if you're one of these cats, Arizona, right? Maybe, I don't know, who knows about Arizona, but what are the traits? Like, you were in your 3rd year when Stafford came in. What are the traits that you're hoping for and are most important, where you're like, if you could talk to the GM, where you'd be like, this is what's most important for me?
In a quarterback or a receiver?
Quarterback.
In a quarterback? I guess the velocity, the ability to change the velocity in your arm. Obviously, you got to be able to fit the ball in different holes. You need to be able to hit the ball in the honey hole on the sideline. You got to be able to drop it over the linebacker. So somebody that has that kind of touch, and somebody that's not afraid to use their legs. Because there's times where plays just break down. There's some quarterbacks they're reluctant to use their legs, and there's some they'll use their legs and get you out of a bad situation. So somebody not necessarily a runner, but definitely somebody that can use their legs. And I mean, if you're a quarterback in the NFL, you have the mental capacity to do so. So I wouldn't even delve too much into there. So the ability to use your legs and the ability, like I say, to change the velocity on the ball.
Yeah, let's talk. Okay, so to bring it back to Detroit, I'm curious if you have anything to say about Reggie Bush this morning. You were with him 2013, 2014, I believe. It was just announced this morning. Heisman Trust, giving him back that trophy to him and USC. How do you feel?
Man, they know Reggie was they know Reggie was like one of the best all-time players. Man, come on, they tripping. Come on. If anybody deserved that Heisman, Reggie. Goodness gracious, everybody was a Reggie fan back in the day. He was the biggest superstar we've seen at the time in football. I feel like, just at least my generation, and just the things that he did on the football field, it was joystick. So haven't seen it since, and I don't know when we'll see it again. But Reggie Bush was an awesome player, and everybody was getting money back in the day. We weren't getting no money at Georgia Tech, but everybody was getting paid back in the day. So come on.
There was no money at Georgia Tech, nothing.
Man, we used to get like a $1,500 stipend once a year, and then that thing went away after my 2nd year. I'm like, damn, where'd the money go? We didn't get nothing.
But now you're making money with Primitiv Performance and helping people. Okay, I need that hoodie, by the way. But it is an amazing thing you're doing. Congrats on the success of the company, Primitiv Performance. It's all about recovery. You received the NFS Global Sport Certification. I don't really know what that means. Tell me more about Primitiv Performance. CBD awareness is taking off and growing, and you were ahead of it.
100%. So this little sticker right here, it took us a whole year to get. Is what you said, NSF for sport, and what that means is basically it puts our product on the safe list for professional and collegiate athletes. And so you can use our product, our CBD product. It doesn't have any THC. Like I say, both collegiately and on the professional realms. And we created these products, just because we use these products, both like the topical and the rehydration solution that we made. We use them in bunches while we played ball, but none of them had the function and the anti-inflammatory capabilities, such as our products that we're making now. So we're just trying to, just recreate, what we're doing, bring us another level of natural healing to those, to the professional athletes, and not just the professional athletes, anybody dealing with, muscle and joint soreness. This is great for. I have family that have arthritis and rheumatoid arthritis that use our product. So it's a great product. I use it all the time myself before I snowboard, golf. I use it proactively, actually. But it's exciting to be able to be in this industry to create products that, my peers can use and have success in getting them back on the field faster.
It's an incredible product, and that sticker matters. I was looking it up before the show. It's the only certification, this is important for people, it's the only certification that is recognized by the United States Anti-Doping Agency and MLB, NHL, NFL, and the NBA. So you might have been the number 2 overall pick, which you didn't care, but you were number 1 in getting ahead of this and providing this for people who are really in pain and needing recovery. So guys, check out the full slate of Primitiv products at primitivperformance.com. Calvin, enjoy this week, and good luck with the golf clubs.
Thank you, Kay. Great to see you. Hey, if you play golf, I'll send you an invite to my outing. Hey,
I would. hit me up. I will be there only if
Gotcha.
I get that hoodie. Got me?
Money. Got
Okay,
it.
money. Talk to you soon. We'll be back with UNC quarterback Drake May.